There we go. It is 8th of October, 2022. And yes, some rather disturbing information just came to me this morning via email. And this is what I was hoping for, Gerry, that by reaching out to you guys, one or more of you guys would help complete the circle and set Gerry free, because I had a very bad feeling. We did a live intervention with Gerry. So I've got Gerry. He's going to join us live in a minute, and he's going to find out this information. And Shai, from Shai. So I figured, bring them both on at the same time. So I'll let Shai tell the story, his story of Elena, directly to Gerry, and it'll just, help bring this thing, I think, to bed. So here is just a short intro of Gerry and Elena's, love story. And we'll be right back in a few minutes.
There is no sense to check because it's not prohibited to ladies of any occupation to leave Ukraine. In fact, there was a law, but then it was postponed to October 1st, 2023. So there are no restrictions for a female to leave Ukraine, and it doesn't depend on her occupation.
Hey guys, let me ask you, who believes in karma? Well, you better, because it's real. And if you do something bad, it'll come back and bite you in the ass, basically. You do something good, it will help out your life, right? Well, karma's a bitch. And this thing has come full circle. Guess what? I got to thank Gerry profusely, because this has completed the loop for one of the ugliest match guarantee stories in history as well. It solved that puzzle for me too. So very interesting. This is just a crazy coincidence, right? So look what happened to Mr. X, and you're going to find out in this live stream why this piece of information completes the story for Mr. X's nasty scam as well.
I found that not only did she have a husband, she had been paid to go on a date with me.
How did that come out? How did you find that out?
I found that out because I had asked her how many guys she had gone on a date with. Because knowing she is married, I said, well, if you're married, why are you still going on dates with guys? And she gave me some BS answer. And I asked her, well, how many guys have you gone on a date with? And she told me some insane number. She said 700. And I quizzed her and I said, really? 700? You know, you're a young girl. Like, 700? You're going on dates like every day then. And she said, well, not quite, but very often. And I said, and I asked her, if you're going on dates with 700 guys, then are you saying no to any dates? And she said no. And at that point in the conversation, it flipped to, okay, why are you going out so frequently with men? And she became defensive and opened up, told me the truth, and said it was about the money.
Hey, Gerry. Hey, Gerry.
Hey, Joe. How you doing? Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you again. Oh my
Should
God,
I be
I'm afraid
wearing?
to ask you, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Well, I have to ask you, should I be wearing sunglasses for this segment or what?
No. I mean, you know what? What's the amazing thing about this? First of all, your video went pretty popular on our channel. And as a result, what I was really hoping for, it's like I said to you before, and in Scam School 3, Matt is just, he gets the YouTube notification that we're live. He clicks live, and there is a picture of the girl that scammed him in Kyiv out of $10,000. And
Really?
then he messaged me after saying, Joe, what? So a guy was talking about how this girl was scamming him. So these scammers, some of them that are professionals, pro scammers, they're quite notorious, and they're known to many guys. And I didn't know. I put this out there that maybe that's the case with your Elena. So I got an email from Shai, and Shai is going to come on and tell you the story directly, so you hear it kind of from the horse's mouth.
Sure.
Better than me regurgitating what Shai told me. Yeah, and again, it's just another piece to the puzzle that I hope will set you free, because I can only imagine what you're going through.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like this morning you reached out to me and asked me how I was doing, and you know, just a little bit of background on that. You know, I know a lot of the guys that were online were very supportive a few nights ago, but you know, one thing that makes it really difficult for me is that you know, we've been in this relationship not just for 6 months or 1 year or something along those lines. This has been like a 4-year endeavor for both of us, and yeah, there have been ups and downs. Yes, of course, there have been red flags along the way, but at the same time, there have been so many other contradictory indicators to the negative stuff. There's been so much positive, you know, and stuff that wasn't really being provoked by me. It was just coming out naturally. So that's why this is really hard for me. That's why it's really difficult to understand what happened, when it happened, and why, you know, because it's hard over a 4-year period to play a game for that period of time and not have some of that game exposed, you know. And maybe it was my naivete for 4 years. I don't know. Maybe I'll learn more in the next few minutes. But but anyway, that's just my perspective on things, and that's one of the reasons why, even though things weren't always perfect, that's why I kind of held on, kept the faith, as they say, for so long.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And I can only imagine how your mind is now trying to answer and fill in the gaps of all the negativity, saying, well, it can be explained maybe by this. It can be explained. I mean, I know, to be honest, I would. Hey, guys, I've had some situations not like this, but I've had some situations where, and I see myself second guessing myself and trying to justify. And
yeah,
I think it's only human. It's only natural, but it's such a big, damaging, heart-wrenching loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of that. Obviously, I've found ways to not necessarily just justify, but just to not to too quickly, jump to the wrong conclusions. I just try to temper all the information that I'm getting, and I mean, eventually there's going to come a time where, based on action or no action, it's going to fix itself. I mean, time heals all, and ultimately one proves himself over a longer period of time. Maybe it's going to happen today. Maybe this information that I'm going to get is going to be the final piece of that puzzle. But the point I'm trying to make is that it is difficult to just jump out of it after such a long period of time, when there have been so many positive indications coming from the individual over that period. I just didn't like, this is what's happened this last month or so has been kind of shocking to me, with the kind of breakdown of the communication. I know the war is attributed to a certain degree, just logistically, the fact that they're back in Ukraine, but still that can't answer all the questions, because where there's a will, there's a way, so.
Exactly. I will start by saying that Anna has 100% confirmed on multiple levels directly with her. Her friend is a police captain in Ukraine.
Okay.
So even active lady policemen to this day can leave Ukraine, no problem. Even active policemen. So that's complete horseshit.
Okay.
So listen, without further ado, I think I'll introduce you to Shai, and I will explain the story of how this all kind of fits together with Match Guarantee's worst horror story in our 6-year history as well. How this comes full circle. But let's deal with your situation first, because you're on pins and needles. So I'll just put this. Thanks for sending that photo of you with. I didn't want to put that picture up. I wanted to put.
Cat out of the bag. Beautiful picture, Shai.
Yeah, this photo. You can still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Yeah, I think everybody can hear. So I'm going to bring Shai on now. And this was his second date with her.
Ah, okay. April.
You can see the date. April 1st, 2019.
1st. Okay.
And I mean, she's looking, and you guys are together. You're almost engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, September, you would propose marriage to her, right?
20. I'm trying to remember my dates.
In 5 months more, you proposed to her.
It was actually November of that year. Yeah.
It was November. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, I'll just bring Shai in here.
By the way, Joe, really quick, will I have hi Shai, will I have access to all these photos that you're posting?
Yeah, I sent you a link to everything. I sent you an
Excel. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I figured you'd want this. So
for
Shai,
sure.
Please tell your story of just to briefly. I know you got to go soon, but I'll disappear from StreamYard. But how you met Elena and how it was, and about the agency and who did it and all of that. We can talk about that later. But just as it relates to Gerry here, thanks.
Okay, so Gerry, actually, I only can congratulate myself because I was luckier than you. I met this lady twice, and the first time was in January 31, 2019. And I must say, she was truly amazing. She's very, very beautiful and very, very charming. But in my case, I was really little scared because she was very, very tall. I mean, she was taller than me, than something like 5 centimeters. So this was the main problem. The other problem was that she had 2 kids, 2 minors. I was not planning to meet a lady with 2 kids. I said maybe with 1 kid. So we had correspondence through one of the agencies. She was registered in several agencies, so it's not really important that what specific agency, because she was registered in a local agency in Poltava, and this agency sent her profile around Ukraine to many agencies, and also I found her profile and also communicate with her in April through another agency, and that was very, very funny. So I met her first time, and the meeting was very good. You have never been in Poltava, I understand.
That's correct. Only Kyiv. We always met in Kyiv.
Well, I must tell you that Poltava is a very nice place, very beautiful, and well, less stressing than Kyiv. And after I was meeting with Elena in Poltava, I went to Kyiv, and in Kyiv I met another girl, and the date, actually 2 other ladies in Kyiv, and for 2 different agencies, and it was, both meeting was really, really not good. So I was starting to thinking again about Poltava and Elena, because my experience was very nice. And suddenly I came, a few weeks later, I came unexpectedly to Poltava. Maybe I told the agency, I told the translator that made the translation, yes, this is the Palazzo in Poltava, this is the best hotel in the city, and it's very charming place. And I told her something like, I'm coming tomorrow, can I get another date with Elena? So here she is. And she said, I will check with the lady because no one prepared for your visit. So I came there, and Elena was very, very charming. And this I understood that she's, I think this profile that they show now is from AFA. And we started talking very, very seriously about, education in Israel for her children and so on. It became very, very serious. And then she told me, actually, I was planning to stay there for the whole weekend, like 3 nights. And then she told me, sorry, but I need to go to the village tomorrow because we celebrate a birthday for my mother. And I take my kids and we'll stay there 2 days. And so there was no chance to meet her again this time. I need to come again. And
okay, Shai, this was in April of 2019?
This was few weeks later after the first meeting.
Okay, first, just so I understand in my head, the first meeting was April 2019?
No, January 31, the first meeting was.
Of 2019.
Yeah, 2019. And I came back a few weeks later, and then she told me we have a very lovely date. And we talked seriously about, and we talked very seriously about the future and everything. And then she told me I cannot meet with you tomorrow. So I said, okay, I know I just came unexpectedly to Poltava, and I understand this. And we make every arrangement to tell her about our next meeting. But listen, what was just coming later. The translator contacted me, actually her boss contacted me. She told me, okay, Elena is out of town, please, we have like 17 or 18 other ladies you can meet. They are want to meet you, and you should meet them because you are nothing with Elena. You're not. You still don't have a relationship. It's just the second meeting. So I said okay because I didn't want to be bored. Okay, so then I didn't choose anyone. I told the translator, just give me the first lady you want. I will meet her tomorrow and it will be okay. Not matter anything. And then she presented me to other lady that actually didn't have those problems. She was not so tall and she didn't have children. And actually that was the end with, I decided to continue with next lady. And still, Elena was sending me photos in Viber, I think, months later. And then one time, I think maybe it was something like June or July, she told me she lost her job in the police force.
Okay.
And her situation is not good. But at that time, first I have very good communication with the Tatiana from Poltava, and I didn't think to go back to Elena because of her situation. But I found out in photo search that she was working for web modeling site. You know what I mean?
Okay, extreme.
Yeah. So I asked her, I sent this photo to her, and I asked her, Elena, what is this? What is this? And what is this, your job? And then she became very, very rude. She told me, once I had this job, it was nothing, it was long time ago, and this is not your business. I do not owe you any explanation. I thought to myself, okay, so this will be the end with Elena. She was very charming and beautiful and everything, but she's kind of problematic. It's not so easy to represent such lady in front of your family or your friends and know that someone can see her, maybe saw her 5 years before in some kind of a stripper website. You understand? So that was quite the end of my story. And,
so this webcam job, this would have been, you found out about that after your first meeting. This would have been like what, the summer of?
Yeah, I think it was a few months. It was like in June 2019 or July 2019. Unfortunately, all of this information was in my old phone, and I don't have any. Yeah. This is a nice thing. This is a chat that I did with her like 1 week or something like that after our second meeting. And in this chat, through Ukraine Bride Agency, she do not remember when we meet, where we meet. And this was the Palazzo. And the Palazzo is most famous place in Poltava. Nobody forget it in Poltava, believe me. And this was not Elena. I do not believe it was Elena. Someone else was using her profile just to get money from stupid people. So this was the end of it, I can say. So your story is really, really sad, and I cannot describe how do I understand you, because in this scamming school I can be professor. I was scammed, I think 20 times, maybe 10 times. I was scammed all the time, and I think I'm still scammed in certain ways, but I just, take it easy. None works for years or something like this, and never support a woman for $1,000 or more every month. But yeah, it was a great. My investment, I don't think it's smallest than yours. If you talk about $100,000, maybe I spent 50,000 or 60,000, but it was not on one lady, but on
I see.
and also it contains my trips to Ukraine, not only supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right,
so
right.
Gerry, I wish you happy life, and just carry on and understand that Ukraine dating is dangerous. Really, you need to find something you can trust, that can lead you and can back you. You cannot be alone there, because if you're alone there, bad thing can happen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate all that, and I was making notes as you were speaking about some of the timelines, because when she lost her job, when she quit. Well, I don't know if she lost it or if she quit. I don't know really what the truth is at this point. The story that I was given was that the federal police were having a hard time meeting their payroll for a period of time, and she hadn't been paid in months. So, and that she was going to quit. So she did quit that. And of course, she, as I said in the last video, she did reach out to me for support. And, during that phase, we had already met, I think maybe 2 times, or I don't remember. I guess it was 2019 when the job ended. No, so we would have met more than that. But during the time frame that you were in touch with her, because you said you were still in contact with her, like during June and
Yes.
July of 19.
July.
Well, I think in July or August of 2019, we were on a holiday in Cozumel, and in November of 2019, we were in Berlin. And I think before that, in April or the spring of that year, March or something, just before your meeting in April, I think maybe 1 or 2 months before, in 2019, I was in Kyiv. So there's a certain degree of overlap between my relationship with her and your communications with her.
I talked about it with Joe before. There's no doubt there was an overlap. Luckily, it cost me about $200, maybe $300. The 2 dates and the perfume that I bought her, it didn't cost more than that.
Right. Yeah, well, you're lucky, man. But I must ask you one.
I was lucky, but I had very big scams later.
Yeah, no, I could imagine. I'm sorry to hear that. But usually I let Joe ask the more salacious questions. But perhaps there is a question, the elephant in the room. I think Joe doesn't want to ask it, so I'm going to ask you directly. I'm just kind of curious, just so I understand a little bit more about her character. During the times that you met, were you guys intimate at all, or how did that go?
We met 2 times in a restaurant of a hotel with a translator.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I asked you that just so I understand. Like I said, I just wanted to understand her character. That's just. I don't
think Shai heard the word intimate. Shai was asking if you were intimate, if you were sexual or intimate, kissing or anything like that with her.
I, as far as I know, scammers, they get intimate when they have no choice, no other choice, just to go on with the show. But scammers do not look at you as a person. They don't look at you as a boyfriend. They look at you as an ATM. You are not a person for them. Okay.
So guys, let me throw a huge spotlight on this. That's going to really explain, I think, a lot in this specific case, because again, fate, coincidence, just too big of a coincidence. So Shai, tell me a little bit about this agency. So you said the agency that you met Elena through, the main agency on the site, was which company, which agency?
The site? I told you, it was my partner forever, but Elena was registered in a local agency in Poltava, where I met workers, also met the boss there. And this agency sent her profile to many, many other sites. So you can find her profile in AFA, you can find her profile in Ukraine Bridge Agency, and I think many, many more sites. It's not really important what particular agency we are talking about.
So the reason this is key is exactly what Shai just said. This is what happens, guys. Local agencies, they recruit a beautiful young thing, and then they are the one that plug into not one mothership, many motherships. So they plugged into the AFA mothership, and then you can see here, Charm Date, that's a huge mothership. They plugged her into that, and then they manage usually her chat because they know her. That's typically how the scams work.
Totally agree with you, Joe.
What brings it home here is that, please tell me the name of the manager at this local site in Poltava. The manager.
I know her by her name. I was talking with her a lot. Also, one time she was working as a translator in one of my dates. Really don't remember, because I met several ladies in Poltava at that year. Her name was Lilia, and she was quite old. She was beyond 40, while most of the translator was 25, 26, something like this.
And Lilia, can you describe Lilia to me, please? Her height, her weight, her beauty.
She was not short. She was thin, and she had the dark hair. That's what I remember. I didn't saw her since 2019, and my
who was
memory.
Tatiana? Who was Tatiana? You'll see. It's going to come full circle in a second, guys.
Tatiana was the frequent translator.
Most of the time, her age, and can you describe
about 26, and she was not slim. She had the brown hair colored with blonde. She was a nice girl. I don't remember anything particularly about it. She was very trying to help. Very nice. She was not pushy. Lilia was pushy. She told me in the phone, okay, I didn't tell Gerry this, but my second date with Elena was unexpected. I just came to Poltava one day. Okay, you understand? So I was communicating with the translator, because without translator I cannot do anything there. And I asked to make a date with Elena, and a date was created. We go to Palazzo and met there, and then Elena told me that the other day she must go to the village to participate in her mother's birthday in her grandmother's home in the village. So actually I plan to be 3 nights in Poltava, and only in the first night I met Elena. So this Lilia communicated with me and said to me, no, it will not be like this. We have so many ladies we can offer you, and if Elena cannot meet you, so you meet one of our other ladies, and you can meet 3 ladies per day. Such ridiculous. But I eventually in this time I met two ladies from this agency, another two ladies, except Yelena.
And Lilia, was she the owner? What was her position in this boat in the local
I don't
agency?
know. I think she was, or she was the owner, or she was the supreme manager, because she was like controlling everything. That was my.
And her age was again? Her age approximately?
Beyond 40, something
Around 40.
like 45.
And you never went to the office of this local Poltava agency, did you? You never went to the office?
No, it was not needed because they have everything. They send me in Viber like almost 20 profiles of girls that they want me to meet from their agency.
Okay, thank you very much, Shai. I'm gonna let you go on because I know you gotta go right now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I need to go, and I hope we will be connected in the future, Joe. It's great to see you work, and Gerry, my heart is with you.
I appreciate it.
Hang on there. Okay, good night.
Thanks, Shai.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Shai.
So, guys, the reason this is just a crazy coincidence is because I'm quite sure, but guys, if from the information of Lilia, Tatiana, and the description of Poltava boutique small agency with about 120 ladies, that's it. If you have information about them, if you know exactly which agency this is by these descriptions, because I need to confirm before I blow the lid off it, you know what I mean? But it looks like this is the same agency that screwed me over. And this is the thing, guys. This is the big reason why I have Scam School. I mean, this is the big reason that this confusion of this whole industry is so such a mind fuck of epic proportions, really, guys, because it's these little agencies that only charge $100 to meet a girl. That's it, right? Cheap, right? You can meet a beautiful girl for $100. Well, you can see it's not cheap. This is what happens. Because quality, guys, I keep saying to you, it's all about the quality of the lady. How did you meet her? Because now this lady plugs into this little agency. These little agencies, honestly, they can't make ends meet. That's why they plug into not one, many motherships, because they only have 100 ladies charging $100 a date, and they can't market to get Western men. I mean, that's the excuse, if you will, but they do this to make ends meet. They plug into the mothership. So I'm just going to play this video again and tell you the rest of the story. And how it was Match Guarantee's worst fuck up in our entire history and what we did about it. And the reason I'm sharing this again and not sweeping my laundry under the carpet, which would probably be the wise thing to do, but I didn't. I exposed ourselves.
Hey, look, Joe, misery loves company, man.
Yeah. Listen, you never know it all in this industry. 6 years later, I'm still learning. I'm learning things from this case. But this is one of the biggest deceptions that you guys watching this video need to understand. When you're going into one of those little boutique agencies in Ukraine, and there's thousands, guys, thousands of them with 100, 200 ladies, you don't know what you're getting. I hope you understand now what this case, what I mean. I'll be right back.
I found that not only did she have a husband, she had been paid to go on a date with me.
How did that come out? How did you find that out?
I found that out because I had asked her how many guys she had gone on a date with. Because knowing she's married, I said, well, if you're married, why are you still going on dates with guys? And she gave me some BS answer. And I asked her, well, how many guys have you gone on a date with? And she told me some insane number. She said 700. And I quizzed her and I said, really? 700? You know, you're a young girl, like 700, you're going on dates like every day then. And she said, well, not quite, but very often. And I said, and I asked her, if you're going on dates with 700 guys, then are you saying no to any dates? And she said no. And at that point in the conversation, it flipped to, okay, why are you going out so frequently with men? And she became defensive and opened up, told me the truth. and said it was about the money.
Hey, Jean-Francis, you're here. Listen, do you want to come into the studio and tell your story of the specific scam with the local agency in Kharkov? If you do, just call Diana on our number, and she'll give you the link to join us in the studio. So, guys, I just want to bring it home here. So this was our partner, a Poltava little agency with 120 ladies. We had not only met the owner, but my employee at the time, who had her own agency in Sevastopol for over 10 years, she went down there, met with the agency. She dug, she checked them out. We checked them out online. We did our absolute best at due diligence, and we did this for about 25 to 30 agencies that I was looking to add to the Match Guarantee database. So grow by way of sub agency. It's very common. UBA has about 30 some odd sub agencies, and these big sites like Charm Date and they have thousands of sub agencies, because you look at the number of thousands and tens of thousands of ladies they have. You can't manage that. So after vetting all of these about 30-ish, 35-ish sub agencies, we ended up with 6. So we uploaded 6 sub agencies to our Match Guarantee database, and we ran like that for the better part of a year, until Mr. X is not only my client, but he's a friend, and he's the perfect eligible bachelor. Okay, I mean, no girl turns him down. He's kind of like the male 10 out of 10, wealthy, good looking, 6-pack abs, you name it, So if he can be scammed, can you imagine? Like, when he called me and he told me what had happened to him and that it's my girl, oh my God, I was fucking mortified. I was absolutely mortified. Long story short, I didn't even call the sub agency. I never have. What's the point? I'm a little bit Ukrainianized now, living there for so long. That's what Ukrainian people do. There's no point. Vengeance or calling and raking them over the coals, there's no point. I just pulled the plug on all 6 sub agencies, and that's it. We only have Match Guarantee girls, and that will be forever, because I understood the hard way finally that you cannot trust any of these sub agencies. And that's the problem with these agencies. Once they get bigger and bigger, they get more and more sub agencies. And I have it on good authority that UBA, it's owned by an American guy. It used to be a good shop, but they just grew and they got out of control. And you can't manage the lady database with 30 sub agencies. It's not possible. So that's I just thought I would throw that in, Gerry, while you're processing, because I really want. Listen, I don't care. We're a little boutique agency. We can only take a few number of clients, but I want to save you guys, all of you guys, from being eaten alive by this industry. And what happened to Gerry here?
Years of being eaten alive. I mean, that's I'm embellishing a little bit, because I mean, there were a lot of fun times that were had, but for me, it's just extremely disappointing that reflecting back on all the experiences, that this is what was in the back of her mind, and this is what came to fruition. It's very strange, and one thing I'm still not understanding and processing that well is that I could understand if it was just a single woman involved, right? Then the likelihood of this type of these types of negative character traits or whatever that would lend someone to behave this way, it might be easier to kind of contemplate and to act upon. But when you are tending to 2 minor children, one at that stage of the game was like 5 years old, the other one about I think initially about 13. I just can't see the average mother thinking about that. You'd be, in my estimation, you'd think about finding the right person, creating a stable dynamic, stable household from them, finding somebody you can depend on. And, you know, I don't want to praise myself too much, but for those years, that's what I was doing. I mean, they didn't have any cares or worries. All their obligations were being met. They were eating good food and so forth. So really, how much more do you want, you know, other than security for your family? That should be kind of number one. You know, if you're a beautiful single woman, well, that's a different story. You know, maybe you have a certain propensity to play the field and try to, you know, scam as many people as you possibly can, and you know, kind of take it to the bank. But typically, I think with most mothers, you know, number one is you know, giving security for your kids, and this type of lifestyle isn't really conducive to that. So,
You know, Gerry,
it's a big risk.
I completely concur with you. And it's just crazy that this happened with a single mom. I always keep standing on my soapbox and saying, rah, rah, Ukraine single mom, because they're not like Western single moms. They're, you know, hypergamy is out the window for a single mom,
right.
A Ukrainian single mom. They're not looking to upgrade the man. As long as he's a good provider, a good dad. And this is crazy that this is why my wife broke down. Remember, she broke down and cried.
No, I remember that. Because that affected me, actually. Joe, I have a question for you. This is just an anecdotal story or situation that occurred maybe it was the last time we had a real video chat, which was, I think it was just before she was leaving Ireland and she was about to head back to Ukraine. Before the video chat, she just out of the blue, we were saying hello and good morning and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she mentioned that her little daughter, Diana, was in tears. And I said, oh, well, why is she crying? And she said, because I told her today that, soon she's going to be attending an American school. And so the child, got upset because she was thinking, well, she doesn't speak English. She's going to be surrounded by English-speaking children. No one's going to want to be friends. The way kids think at 7, 8 years old, right? And so when I heard that, I was thinking, oh, okay, well, it's a little bit sad from the child's perspective, but it's nice that she shared that with me, because it meant that she was trying to indoctrinate the child to think that soon she's going to be landing in the United States and a new life is going to be starting for her, and she's going to be attending school. This type of thing is what throws me off, because if at that point, once again, this is only like 3-4 weeks ago, if at that point you have no intentions of making this move, with the children being the number one thing in your lives, who would actually introduce that possibility to them if you have no intention of going? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And actually, when we had the video chat, I got on with her daughter to we did a little teasing back and forth about, American schools. We made some jokes and so forth. And, Leanna was on the side sort of laughing at the interaction and all this. So when I saw all of that, it's like, oh, that tells me that she's thinking about this and she's on board with it. But then, because there's no reason to even bring that up whatsoever. That's just kind of strange and even cruel to the children. Maybe it's something that they're looking forward to. So if you're not planning on coming, then you don't even mention a scenario like that, right? Maybe you just placate me and say, oh yeah, we're making sure we have all the vaccination records, this and that. But you're not really sharing that stuff with the children. So that kind of blows me away. I don't know if any of the viewers, Jean-Francis or any of you guys have a take on that, but that just wasn't necessary for her to do. And that led some kind of legitimacy to the whole thing. The point I'm trying to make is that most of our interpersonal interactions were sincere and positive. There wasn't a lot that I was getting from the dialogue that I was having with her that raised red flags. the red flags for me started once again about 1 month ago, when these communications just started to creep to almost not, in terms of our regular communication. So, as we used to say back in Ottawa, when people started acting a little squirrely, we'd say, "You bang your head,"
Well, would you like to hear my take on this, Gerry?
Sure. That's why I threw it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, of course, in comments, you're welcome to give your take on this, but it's very clarifying for me. So she brought her daughter in and said about this 4 weeks ago. And my wife's joining. She wasn't gonna partake. She said, no, you told me no live stream today.
We must have Anna. Привет. Как дела?
Wait, I'm just starting. Okay, honey? Can I? So this was 4 weeks ago. Yeah, 4 to 6.
It was, give or take. She was still in Ireland at that point. So I think it was about 4 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, so this absolutely clarifies it. Okay, it clarifies an important point. She made up her mind after that, because children don't lie. No. And there's no point in her telling you about this. She told her daughter, our daughter was very upset that she has to go to English speaking school because she doesn't speak good enough English, and she's not going to be worried about not being able to make friends. It's very disconcerting for the children. So absolutely, this tells you the demarcation point of her decision to let you go was less than whenever that call was. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I threw it, because I feel the exact same way. I think I kind of mentioned that something happened upon her return to Poltava. Excuse me. That's why I said something happened. She banged her head. It's like something occurred during that period, because I wasn't getting any types of indications before she left Ireland and her stay in Warsaw. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until she got back. So I just don't, whether I'll know exactly what was going on or what happened, if there was something traumatic that changed her mindset, I really don't know. That hasn't been expressed to me. I don't know if I need to know at this point, but yeah, in the window of from September 1st through August, whatever Monday was, August 5th, I guess, or something, something went down. So, and it happened fairly abruptly. So
yeah,
because even the week before, like, she has a dog. She has a little Corgi, and she was telling me about. Once again, this wasn't information wasn't solicited from me. She just threw it out there. She was saying that she was getting his documentation ready for international travel and making sure that his rabies vaccine, the documents were in order, and everything was also was in English, so it could be presented at border services when she gets here. And once again, I wasn't asking about this. This is just coming out, so it's just very strange.
So, honey, what's your take? You're a single. You were a single mom when I met you.
No, I don't talk about this.
I
come because I called today my brother's friend who is
already
married.
Told.
Are you told?
Yep.
Yeah, there is no limitation. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I come a little bit later. Unless
no, I already talked about
she can. Yeah, she can leave.
But let's. I want to just explain to Anna, because maybe you didn't hear. Just very quickly, what Gerry just explained is that about 4 weeks or so ago.
Yeah.
You heard that? Yeah.
He talked to Child because Child was worried about how he will.
Yeah. Elena told her this. Now, why? What does that tell you?
I don't know. I think that, with my optimism, I try to imagine that she was kind of planning, or thinking about going to you. But from our last conversation, I saw many signs that she actually never was going to leave Ukraine. And this thing that she was in Poland, not comfortable living, not with the Ukrainians, so she goes so far away to UK, between surrounded with Ukrainian people. I see there is no, like, consciously, and I see here actually even worse thing, you know, not manipulating only you, but manipulating children. So creating all this scam, you know, preparing you that she will come back to Ukraine, and all of a sudden she cannot leave Ukraine. But she creates story that she was going to, you know, using children, you know, involving children in this scam. And unfortunately, I heard about these stories because, as I said, it's not easy to involve parents in this. This is professional families; they work together, you know. So her parents never was even like introduced to you, you know, because she didn't want to ruin this card, you know, house. But it's much easier using children to make this story looks, you know, completely true and honest.
You think
know?
it's part of the scam, part of the con?
Yes.
Oh, that would be
Yeah, the
fucking
thing,
hard.
yeah, I think, like, I don't,
I can't even
I
imagine a
think,
human being so heartless as to
yeah,
actually.
no, I usually I'm on board with everything that you say on it. It's just that this time, like, our topic wasn't even about that. We were talking about something else totally unrelated, and this just came out of the blue, you know, and it was just a little. I just took it as a little funny story because the little one got involved and she was having a hard time, you know, with the thought of moving into these schools. And, you know, when I talked to her directly about it, we had 2 conversations about it. I met with little Diana online and I was teasing her about it. And the whole time, Lena had she was watching her daughter's reaction. She had a little smile on her face. I was teasing her. She was teasing me. It was just like a normal interaction. I honestly feel that at that point, like Joe said, I honestly feel that everything was legitimate up until that point, that she was moving forward.
How is it legitimate if she was dating other guys? How is legitimate?
Well, that's a different story. But keep in mind, Anna, that goes back, like the dates that we're talking about goes back 3 years, right? It was sort of a different era. Maybe she was still going through the process of deciding who was worthy and who was not worthy and all that kind of stuff. Although the one thing though is that for me to hear Shai's story about 2019, summer of 2019. If I had heard that about summer of 2018, then I could accept it. But to what you're saying, Anna, this was like a year later. We had already had, and we were kind of committed to the relationship. So we were already a year in. Like we had already had our first Paris meeting. We had our second and third meetings, I believe, in Kyiv, because I believe one of those meetings was in, I don't remember my dates, but I think there were 2 meetings towards the end of 2018, somewhere in the October to December timeframe. And then there was another meeting in Kyiv, which would have been February of 2019. And at that point, things were fairly, in my mind, things were fairly solid. So Shai came into the picture in April of 2019. So literally a month and a half after I left, he's in Poltava meeting her and whatnot. So, and I forgot, he said his first meeting was January 31st, 2019. So he met her on January 31st, 2019. I met her, I was trying to be there for Valentine's Day in February. I missed it by about 4 days. So I was there after Valentine's Day, maybe on the 18th or 19th of February. So 2.5 weeks before that, someone else had met her for the first time.
Also, April 1st, he met with her the second date, right, in Poltava.
And April 1st, and then, yeah. So I had met with her 2 times in 2018, the end of 2018. He meets with her the very beginning of 2019. I meet with her February of 2019. And then he meets with her again in April. And then we have a family vacation in the summer of 2019, like there's a hell of a lot going on in 2019, and things seem to be happening simultaneously with other people. There was definitely overlap.
So in your mind, wait a second. In your mind, the relationship, you're asking yourself, well, maybe the relationship didn't gel enough until after these other meetings, because we got her meeting with another guy, right, in 2019, right?
Right.
That's what's in your mind, right? Let me add one more piece to the puzzle. When's the last time you met with her? The last date in Kyiv. The date.
Oh God. I think. Oh man, I hope I'm not wrong with this. I know the weather was getting better. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look at old tickets and stuff like that. But I think it was that was winter time. I don't know. I want to say it was that February trip, sort of towards the end of February in 2019.
February 2019. That was the last time. Okay, again, it's not conclusive then. Because the thing is this. I had a relationship with somebody in Poltava. I can tell you about Poltava mentality, yada, yada, yada. And I know this. The reason they don't want you to go to Poltava, Anna mentioned it last stream, is because it's such a small place and people gossip and talk.
Sure.
And we definitely don't want you to come to the building, because then the whole fucking town knows that you're in a relationship with a foreigner. And I don't know if you guys understand this, but take it from me. Ukrainian people judge any woman dating a foreigner as follows. You are a gold-digging slut. You betrayed our men to be with a foreigner. So women don't want to be judged. So that explains that away. But at some point when she was serious with you, she should want to introduce you to the parents. But again, we're only talking February 2019 because of COVID. So maybe it hadn't gelled for her then also.
No, but once again, to that point, because I know that was a big point that came up in our last meeting, but to that point, we were on the verge of actually buying tickets for all of us to meet. We're going to have a kind of a family reunion in Austria. Her parents were coming, the kids were coming. Actually, one of my daughters was going to come, and it was just going to be a big family thing in Austria. This was scheduled for February of 2020. And just as I was about to make it all happen is when things started shutting down. And I think Vienna was one of the first cities that had sort of absolute lockdowns. So that was going to be with the parents. We were planning a week, and we were going to tour around the city and get to know each other. And that was the whole reason for the trip, was so that parents could meet Gerry, you know?
You don't know that if it would ever happen. You also buy tickets for her to, to the bus and to flight, and then all of a sudden, last minute, it canceled. That's what happened with all scam stories,
Well, I know, but just with that, we did have trips during that time frame. That was the parents' trip that was canceled. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible on it. Yeah, it could have all been
My mother got sick, and she's in hospital right now, and that's all. And then, but she has intention. She has good intention, but it's force majeure, That's what women will do, scam women will do,
Yeah, but there was no, in this case, I have to give the benefit of the doubt a little bit, because that trip, I was the one that said no to that trip because of what I was reading about Austria at the time. We were only within 3 days. She wasn't backing out of it or anything like that. The parents were planning everything. And then after that, during COVID time, during 2020, we did have a family trip. We didn't have the parents, but we had the children. And that was when Mexico, as you guys know, was more liberal. They were open up. So we went down to Mayan Riviera and then over to Cozumel. But we actually wanted the parents to come on that too, but it was just too cost prohibitive to have so many people flying down there. But so I don't. That part of it about the parents, I don't really use that as a red flag. I think there are too many other more legitimate things that I'm seeing as red flags. because we did try to make that happen, and COVID shut it down. So yeah, anything could have happened. Maybe if COVID wasn't there, somebody at the last minute could have said, "Oh, we can't make the flight." That's speculation.
About children manipulation, because this is the cases that I heard that scammers, professional scammers do involving children, because this looks so real for guys, and this is give them financial benefit, you know. This, I'm talking not from my ass, you know, I'm talking about experience that I heard what scammers do. And it was in Odessa region, because this is the place where it's full. They go to Zatoka and they say, oh my God, you know, girl who was working there, she told me, they look at this poor guy. She's talking in Russian to her boyfriend, Ukrainian boyfriend, in Russian language. And he have no idea she's in relationship. She's saying, oh, I have to be with this, you know, sponsor for 2 more days. Can you wait for me? You know, like, honey, I will come soon and we'll have fun, you know, but I'm making money, you know. This is what, and this girl, she's listening, who's cleaning the house, you know, and she's come with her broken English, trying to catch him when he's alone, because they, you know, watch after him, translator and girl, you know, they don't want to leave him alone, because they see that other Ukrainian people who work there, they understand what's going on, and they come to him and say, she's bad girl, you know. They try to tell him, you know, give him many times clue to understand what's going on, because they see and they want to vomit, you know, from this situation. And she comes with her child to spend time, so it looks like a perfect family. They come for vacation, you know, and she's playing, acting like it's a loved man. So this is and this has happened, and this is real stories. That's why it's hard to believe. And honestly, for me, even if she was thinking about going really to America, if that was not a manipulation trick, it was maybe she had thoughts, you know, because you're such a nice man. Sorry, it's my truth, it's my suggestion about everything that I heard. I didn't see in her message everything that I read. I didn't see really, you know, feelings out there. But it's a big thing for all Ukrainian women. They won't feel loved. So this was for her understanding if she's ready to compromise on her feelings and move to, you know, to good country for her children to live there, but live with a man with whom she don't have love. Because that's what I see here clearly.
No,
and it's because of age gap again. This is very challenging, you know.
And we've got a guy in chat talking about fiance 27-year age gap. We'll get to him in a second, but the key is not to give money. But guys, keep in mind, Gerry did start supporting her for a year, and I can tell you, if you have a fiance, because it was a fiance, she was a fiance before he started ponying up. So don't think, you know, he's if you don't start supporting your fiance after a year of dating and now you're engaged to be married, trust me, you're gonna lose her. Because this is what, you know, this culture is traditional. That's the man's role. You're gonna lose her feeling of safety and security. So, you know, you're between a rock and a hard place here. Gerry is just simply a victim of it's not that he did so many things wrong. I'm giving my opinion, of course. You know, it's just a tragic situation. When you're with somebody, listen, it's all about the person's ethics and morals, right? You need to understand the ethics and morals. And I don't know, Gerry, that's a question I have for you. How did you feel was her level of ethics and morals? Any clues in that question? Because, for example, my Anna can't do that to anybody. It was just never happened.
I can say.
Just wait.
I'm just told that she's a very close person.
So yeah, she's stoic, which is close. But what do you think about that? How do you feel was her fabric, ethics fabric?
I looked hard for that. Like once again, over this 4-year period, you know, even the best actors slip up after a while, right? And I like to think that I'm a fairly perceptive person, and I'm always looking. I'm looking for reactions to things that I'm saying. I'm you know, analyzing things that are being told to me, just to kind of present an accurate picture of what's really happening here. And throughout the better part of the relationship, my what did you call it the other day, Joe? Your spidey feelings or whatever.
Spidey senses.
Spidey senses. They were always fairly positive. There was nothing really jumping out at me. The only time that I really had an issue with her actually was in Mexico. One time we're on a ferry from Cozumel to Playa del Carmen, and it was actually our second to last day. And she had just shut down. And this is where this stoicism comes in. Like, she just wasn't talking. She wasn't talking to me. She wasn't talking to the children. Something was going on. And, you know, I was trying to lighten up the mood, but to no avail. So eventually I began to get frustrated because by nature, I'm a fairly, you know, kind of, what's the word? Jovial person. I like to laugh. I like to have a good time. I like to tease people and
Fun-loving.
jab them. Joe knows me over the last 2 years. I always throw out little jabs and sarcasm relating to his horrific experiences having to grow up in Canada. But I'm teasing. You know, I throw jabs to Jean-Francis once in a while, but that's just my spirit. I like to laugh. I like to tease people. I like to take it. I like to have a good time. So I do that a lot with her. And that was actually one of the good things about our relationship, because she could give it as well as she could take. And she teased me a lot. We went back and forth. It was wonderful, you know. But at times there was this dark side to her personality where she would just get into a funk, and nothing could dissuade her from getting out of that funk. And then when you questioned her about it, she would say things like, you know, I just need time. Sometimes I just need time by myself. I really don't like to talk to anybody. And I saw that, you know, during those times, she wasn't really engaging with her children. She definitely wasn't engaging with me. She just shut down and she was off in her own world. Well, there are a couple of times where I maybe took that the wrong way. I thought it was a reflection on maybe something that I was doing. So I would get offended by it. And then I would take it to a different level and cause some friction. And then something that was maybe just her dealing with her thoughts turns into an argument between the two of us. My problem with that is that if there is something on your mind that's disturbing you to the extent that you can't talk to your partner, then that's pretty bad. I think if there's something that's bothering you that much, you should be able to talk to your partner. And if they truly are your partners, they can help you. You know, maybe they can't give you advice, but at least they can listen and be empathetic and make you feel a little bit better about the situation, even if they can't really resolve it for you. But with her, it was never like that. She never sought out that type of comfort, you know, from me or from anybody else in her immediate family. And I thought that to be kind of a little bit strange. And with that type of personality means that if that person doesn't really need sympathy and empathy, then it also, conversely, it also means that when you're struggling with something, most likely they're not going to provide it to you, you know? And that's definitely the case. It's the case right now as I'm going through this. And it's been, occasionally it's been the case before. But not always. There were times where I was having, you know, certain stressors coming from a relationship with one of my daughters. Actually, Elena was there for me there. She was always reaching out to me, asking me how I'm doing, if the situation's getting better. So it's kind of strange. Like this situation isn't black and white. There are negatives for sure. But then there have been so many positives along the way, things that you would want from a supporting partner, you know? That's why to turn my back on it and just easily walk in a different direction, that's why it's, even though that's kind of the direction I'm leading in, it's just very difficult. You know, it's not like this person was just pure evil and everything about her was a red flag. That's never been the case, you know, so I don't know.
As our matchmaker says that it's so pleasant to work with a foreigner's man, and I know why some of Ukrainian ladies, yes, are open to marry foreigner, because their expectations, you know, in relationship, their needs to be served, you know, taken care of, feeling loved, much less than Ukrainian men, you know. They need so small to feel, you know, to feel happy, and they appreciate more relationship, you know, because they have less of this opportunity compared to this potential in Ukraine, you know, with having so many choices. So, you know, they more appreciate it, and that is why they also, some of Ukrainian ladies, they're looking for a married foreigner because, yeah,
Jack,
I mean, a little bit what she gave to you, a little bit of her warmth, you know, you carried as a, you know, as a significant for you, you know, that she was really into you. But in reality, if she would be, I don't know, it's very hard to know really person if she has this close type of personality. You have no idea.
No, for sure.
And you never
For
knew.
sure.
That's her,
Now, I call it the readability index. Everybody has a readability index. Mine is like probably 9 from 10. You meet me, you can read me, you know, but some people, and if you're stoic and not showing emotion and stuff, hard to read. Takes much longer to get to know those kind of people. And I can say in my experience, those kind of people, if there is a person that's going to deceive you, those are the type of people. Because people like John Francis, like myself, like Anna, we marry, and probably you too, emotions on our sleeve, talkative, over talkative.
Yeah.
Well, what you see is what you get, right? But those stoic people, you have to be careful.
Well, another strange thing, and I want to get the female perspective on this, Anna, because this is a little incident that took place on our last meeting when I was in Poltava. She was really down in the dumps. She was really in a depressed state, you know, mainly because of the circumstances surrounding the war. She was away from her home. She wasn't that comfortable in the flat. Her best friend, who she was able to relate to every day, who was there for like 1 month, I think I mentioned to you guys the last time, Elena was moving on to Switzerland to stay with another friend. So she was there essentially by herself, okay? So I came to visit during that period. Irina was just about to leave. I met Irina, very nice, and so forth. She once again, she was in a depressed state. She was thinking about her mother, her stepfather, everything they were dealing with, just about the war in general. She didn't understand it, and why. So she was just down. You know, she wasn't a happy camper, and it was unlike any other visit I had ever had before, because usually in the other visits everything's happy, you know. Our biggest concern is whether or not the coconut water is too warm or something, you know. But but this time it was different. She was constantly in this mood, and I took it, after a while, took it personally, because I thought it was something that I was doing. I thought that my presence would lift her spirits. So maybe I got a little bit childish, and I took it to heart too much. And I thought it was something about me. So I made the statement, well, I think it's obvious that everything has changed. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, well, our relationship, it seems like everything has changed. She looked at me and she started crying. All right. And I said, why are you crying? And she goes, because you said that everything about our relationship has changed. And then I explained to her, well, based on your mood and based on the lack of sort of interaction and so forth, these are what my feelings were, right? And I remember that, and I just wanted to throw that out, because if it was somebody who really had nefarious intent all along, why do they have that type of reaction? I just don't get it.
What date was that? Sorry, what date was that?
This was in May of this year. That was the last time I saw her. This was about maybe 2 months before she ultimately got back to Poltava.
So, and your read was, it was genuine emotions. There was no.
Oh, it was definitely genuine, because she, like I told you before, she's a stoic woman. She doesn't. I'd only see her cry on, like, in the 4 years, on one other occasion, and when I said those words, it brought her to tears. You know.
And remind me again, you said that because of what? What was your justification? You said,
I just said that because I was just getting frustrated at the communication. I came there, like, it was a big effort for me to get to Poland. I'm financially, it wasn't cheap. I didn't get the best airfares. I was missing. I mean, it was a whole shit show basically. Because of very quick connections, I missed a flight at CDG, and I had to pay out of pocket for another ticket. The same thing happened on the way back, but anyway, that's a different story. So I was mentally exhausted, physically exhausted when I went over there. I just wanted, I was expecting a different type of reaction. I thought that she would be, happy to see me, that I could take some of the emotional load off. Now she's with her man. We can go out and do things in Warsaw and have a good time. And that's what we did. I mean, we did have a great time there, but
hold on.
But
Anna, what's your take?
Yeah.
No, my smile, because do you believe in sign, Gerry? If you was missing the flight and you would, it was going not so smooth, this is kind of sign, this is not your
Well, okay.
Let me pause by quoting Gerry. When one of the reasons I was so my spidey senses were in overdrive when Gerry and I spoke the other morning, whatever it was, 4 mornings ago, whatever, is he said, Joe, basically, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Like, boom, 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 boom. Listen to all of these things that is trying to unplug my fiance and I, basically. Okay, honey.
Yeah, a lot of, but with regard to that, Anna, that's a funny question, because no, I'm not going to take that one to heart as being a sign, because if I did that, then I would always have the sign, because 9 times out of 10 when I travel there, I have a 1-hour connection and I never make it. So I'd always be doomed. I should never meet any woman. This isn't the first time.
Well, I can tell you, Anna and I, one of the many things that we have in common is we always look for signs to point if we're going in the right direction or which direction we're supposed to go. And that's, I say signs. Of course, we're Christian people. You guys all know that. Mm-hmm. So this sign had our ass out of Ukraine 6 days before the war started. So we believe in the signs,
Really easy way,
well,
hard way.
Anna, I was going to, I was like, the timing of that trip actually wasn't, from a work standpoint, it wasn't the most comfortable for me. I had too much going on. I wanted to push it out about a month. I scheduled it for that time frame, I guess the end of April, beginning of May, because she asked me several times. She says, "When are you coming here? When are you coming here?" And then when I said, "Oh, I think I might come in June," she said, "Well, wait a second. You told me that it was going to happen in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. Now you're pushing it out." So, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many contradictory statements and so forth, positive things that are being said. That's why at times I get really confused over all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think, why she was crying, it's because she come to the point when it's war in Ukraine, there is no more, created things why she don't move to, your romance come to the end and she need to make decision if she's move forward with you. But as I say, sorry, I don't see love there. Or she stays in Ukraine and, continue to live life that she had, But basically, probably she saw a lot of, your care and your support, how you bonding with the children, she like all of that. But you cannot buy love. That's the thing, if you don't have feelings, you cannot, with all these good things, if it's not out there, it's not out there. And I say, for most of Ukrainian women, doesn't matter. It's a scammer or not scammer. They all want love. They all want love. That's what the situation I described you. She's dating Ukrainian man. She's happy with him. At the same time, she attitude to work as a work, scam foreigners, man.
Yeah.
She don't perceive them as a, foreigners man as a potential love,
Gerry, let me ask you, where are you on this where's your head at? Where's your heart at? Where are you, if you can share on this thing?
Well, I'll be honest, and I think some of the commenters probably saw this. I mean, I think I'm about, if I were to give it a percentage in terms of where I'm leaning, I think when we spoke a few days ago, I was really on the fence in terms of which way to go. I did want to try to just touch base with her and talk to her, because after talking to you guys, like, my radar would have been up during that conversation. I would have been asking, coyly asking certain questions and so forth, to see what kind of responses I was getting. But I was more optimistic, I guess. When I say more, I was still 50-50 on the fence. But now I'm, you know, days have passed, and I mean, as we know, time heals everything, you know. You know, and I've learned a lot more from you guys. And by the way, the commenters, everybody that's sent comments, you know, I try to read as many of those as possible. And those, even though you guys aren't obviously vested in this situation, you know, I think now you have a pretty good understanding of the amount of time and effort and the amount of my heart that I laid out for her, you know. I would say that I'm probably about 80% in the position where I'm considering just going in a different direction, and that's mainly due not necessarily from all the facts that I'm getting, because a lot of those things were sort of time frame related, and you know, when did somebody really commit to a relationship and when didn't they? I understand that, because honestly speaking, that was my case too. You know, I didn't know her in the beginning. I still knew a lot of other people, and you know, things might have been happening there too. So that's just natural. You know, you're trying to find the right person. You're also hedging your bets and all. Yeah,
you're playing the field a bit. Okay, so
yeah, you have to. But at some point, you realize, okay, well, you know, this person is legitimate and they have what I want, and you start kind of focusing on that direction. But what has really impacted me over these past few days, actually, Anna, it's because of you. Your reaction 3 days ago when you broke down and when you talked about how you saw me as being a certain type of person. Well, the fact of the matter is that I wear my heart on a sleeve, as Joe kind of alluded to, that we and I both have that same characteristic. And there was nothing to hide. She knew exactly where I was coming from. You know, if she needed something, she got it. If there was something that I needed to make her happy, she got it. The kids, she got it. I understood even before the war started that I wanted to take the responsibility to put her in a sanctuary where she didn't really have to worry about what was going to happen tomorrow and what she could do and what she couldn't do. And essentially that's what I did for 3 years. And also, I think if I don't mind patting myself on the shoulder a little bit, I think my personality is fairly warm and open, and sometimes my jokes might be a little bit stupid. Jean-Francis can attest to that when I was teasing about Quebec, Quebec. But anyway, you know, I like to have a good time. I like to smile. I like to have a few beverages and relax and just enjoy life. That's my whole persona. And that's what I gave her. You know, that's why we had so many wonderful trips over the years. And that's what really sort of hurts me. That really has had a deep impact on my heart, because I don't give to everybody like that. I'll only do that if I have ultimate respect and trust in that person. And you know, because when you do that, then you're becoming more vulnerable yourself. Once your heart is 100% open, then it can easily just be shattered. And essentially,
you were fully in.
That's what happened now. I was totally in. So to have somebody come back and do this, it's just, it's devastating. It's shocking. The heart is obviously just shattered, you know. But obviously, there's a lot of pain and so forth that I'm trying to deal with. You know, time is gonna be the ultimate cure. You know, we've all been through this. You know, it's just a matter of time and so forth. But the main thing that I have is just absolute disappointment, because some people you think are capable of something like this, but honestly speaking, despite everything that I was presented, regardless of that, I didn't think that she was that type of person. And maybe that's just me being delusional and you know, not picking up on the right things at the right times. But really, there weren't a lot of those negatives throughout the relationship. It's only this BS just started после февраля 24. You know, this is when all this stuff just started slowly changing. You know, I just saw a different side to her. You know, so.
You know, here's Journey of Mars, who's engaged to a young lady, 27 years his junior. He's offering to help you. Listen, if you guys want to connect, I'm happy to facilitate, because
sure.
You know, somebody commented you need a good psychologist, family psychologist. And you know what, guys? Sorry, but I personally, I don't think they're worth a hill of beans. The best psychologist is being around friends that care. And so that's why I'm happy to facilitate Journey of Mars if he wants to connect. And that's why we're doing this with Gerry here.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, we care about you. We care about what you're going through. Mm-hmm. We're equally, but we're horrified by this. We talk about this off camera afterwards. This is like, you've been the main character in our week, you know, and whatever we can do, you know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And actually, I was a little bit taken aback by your initial reaction. It was very heartwarming for me, you know, when I sent you that initial text, and the fact that you spent so much time and you dropped everything and you got yelled at by Anna because it affected one of your appointments later on in the day. Sorry about that, Anna. That was all my doing.
Listen, I want to, somebody, Jean-Francis here is a little bit critical. He wrote, "Oh my God, only 80%. There's a comment here. So listen,
yeah,
he's doing great being at 80%.
Yeah.
He's 80% tossing her to the curbs and 20% holding on with hope. So just on this point, I just want to offer you.
Yeah.
If you need to close the gap on that 20%, here's what I can offer. So I have a contact, Ukrainian police contact. We can verify her passport, find out her registered address, check her tax records, check her criminal records. The last time I did this for somebody, I'm just saying, it was Steve from Australia, and he was scammed $27,000. And they came back and found that there was a complaint to Odessa police that she had taken $60,000 from an American guy named Bob, I still remember, to buy a flat, and she just absconded with the money. So that was still at the police records. So that kind of sealed it for him. And Steve, guys, is a 35-year-old hunk of an Oz engineer with pipes on him the size of my legs. And he was scammed by a girl, only an 8-year age gap or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's high quality, high SMV male. So it can happen to anybody. So I'm just saying, if you really want to, and, you know, I'll just charge you my cost on that. Normally I sell that for $500, but as I said to you off camera, I'll just charge you my cost on that. And maybe that'll pull back something, maybe it won't, but to close.
Yeah. Let's talk offline about that for sure. Maybe that'll take me into that other 20% realm. And Jean-Francis, the reason I said 80% is only because of just the duration of this relationship. I think if this had been a 3-month or a 6-month or even a 1-year relationship, then you know, I'd be gone. I'd be running for the hills. There'd be no looking back and no trepidations, nothing. I wouldn't have any issues with it. It's just that this is a little bit different story. Like, I don't think there are a lot of people that experience something like this over such a long course of time, and also with so many positives thrown into that total experience. You know, like the negative things that we're talking about today, you know, pale in comparison to the positives. That's why it makes
I agree with Richard.
That's why there's still that sort of 20%.
I agree with Richard.
I can't read these comments because they're a little bit. If you can read them to me.
I'm just throwing them up just to, you know, but I just concur with Richard here. The point is, and I wanted to say this, so thank you, Richard, for stepping in here. It gives me a chance to get on. Hard to get a word in sometimes with you, but I just want you to understand, I see guys every day, of course, that are wanting to find a Ukrainian bride. I see those that succeed. I see those that fail. I have a very highly tuned litmus, you know, or barometer on who's going to be successful and who's not. So I just wanted to say, you know, you trust me, you believe me, I know that. Listen, you're going to have no problem. You look very good for your age. You have
Thank you.
Many redeeming, manly, and even, you know, like great manly qualities, even a tender man, because the truth is Ukrainian women also want a tender man. Anna has a girlfriend that she complains because he never shares his emotions with her. And she is Anna's best friend, actually. So Ukrainian women want a tender man as well. They don't want a whining, sniveling little puss, but they want a tender man, and Gerry is that. So listen, you will be successful. I urge you to, you know, of course, this thing is going to take some time to heal from, but when you're healed, you will find the one. So I just want to encourage you and give you hope that you deserve a much higher quality woman than this. You deserve a great quality woman like this, and you will find that. The stock of women in Ukraine is incredible. You just, unfortunately, were fishing in a very risky pond, and you caught a barracuda, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. Which. So.
Right. So how many possibilities do you have in your queue right now? I think I'm gonna have to come knocking on your door.
Well, it's we have 1300, and any guy that's realistic can find an amazing wife in our stock. Any guy that's realistic. Sometimes we have guys that we have to, you know, that like we have one right now. He just I saw an email. He found one lady, okay? He found one lady. He wrote me an email. And this guy's like 68. And he wrote, he says, I found one lady. And I just say to myself, can't help you. I mean, those kind of guys I know already can't help. Because, But, you know, if a guy's willing to be realistic and settle for, you know, like, I don't mean settle, because I always preach never settle. But I mean, a guy has to be realistic, and a 15-year age gap is but I will also say this about age gap. You are one of those guys, again, this is my professional opinion, you can see what Anna thinks, but I pulled it off. I don't know, I would say I'm not so special, but I mean, I have my own redeeming qualities, I have my faults as well, but you're one of those guys that can pull it off to a strong degree of certainty. I am with our database, and we can see. I mean, we know our database is quality, serious, high quality ladies. What do you think, honey?
Sure.
No, I wouldn't be so sure about we can go for definitely for 20 years age gap. There will be much higher rejection rate. If we can stay without 15 years age gap, it will be much easier journey. The quality of the women will be different from 20 years age gap. The expectations will be more down to earth. And at the end of the day, I don't know. I think we're all looking for, as older we become, you know, for a great partnership, soul connections, you know, having fun together, you know, experience happy life together, right?
Right.
But of course, there is attraction should be.
You know, I can say about my unicorn angel here, it's so funny because she used to be so much more optimistic, but now as she has more matchmaker experience under her belt, she sees the quality of men with us that get rejected and get like 20 year. If
Right.
they're asking ladies with a 20-year age gap and they ask 10, they're getting 1 yes or 0.
Right.
So she's just becoming a little bit more pragmatic as a matchmaker. The truth is, it's a tall bar. It's a tall bar. But I still stand with my position that if you wanted, you could find somebody with a 20-year age gap. Okay, you will know.
It's not easy. You know, I'm fairly positive with that. I mean, Jack just made a statement. Jack said, you know, wrong pond, wrong fish.
Yeah.
But in the case of these two lovebirds, Jack would have said the wrong pond, right fish, right? So I'm looking for.
We met on the street. It's the best pond.
Yeah, exactly. So Jack, I still have hopes for wrong pond, right fish, right? I'm the eternal optimist.
Yeah, but have to be very.
Yeah, you have to be pragmatic and realistic at the same time, but
make her homework, make her learn your lessons. You know, not to involve.
And I will just say, to put this topic to bed.
Yeah.
Every guy doesn't need to, with us, with Match Guarantee, a guy never need to speculate about how well he can do with sincere marriage-minded ladies. Just take us for our by donation test drive. Choose 10 ladies from our website and basically invite them out. We send your photos and intro letter. You'll see how many from 10 yeses you get. If you get 0 or 1, you know you're a little off base.
Yeah.
Right. But then again, if you get 1, at the end of the day, you're only looking for one wife, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like, you know, guys, it's not like I'm angry, don't want to, you know, to cut a man's dream or something, but I never hide that, you know, our age gap didn't land on me normal, you know. It's also was something very difficult, you know, when I find out through, because I met on the street, I didn't met through, you know, questionnaire where I can see the age. If I met through questionnaire, I would not, probably would never give a chance even to us, you know.
She would have told Tatiana, too old for me. Because
okay, so I have a question. I'll be the.
I just want to add before the question. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to add. So guys really get the age gap thing. How scared Anna was. Okay. She said this on live before, but when I told her my age, we were at our first date. Yeah. And she said on camera, I felt so shocked and so like, oh my God, I wanted to crawl under the table.
Oh my God.
So you see,
wow,
this is the honesty of it. Yeah. Also, while you're thinking of your question, I just want to say hi, Jean-Francis. Listen, he feels like he's a big failure, like giving up because he just had his second date now, and I guess that didn't pan out. So I asked one of our streamers, Jean-Francis, who you talked to during Scam School. She is in Warsaw, right? I asked her, listen, I asked Jana, could you maybe find some of your girlfriends that are, you know, send Jean-Francis photo and letter, maybe they'd be interested in her. And she came back, because we're talking about age gap. She came back to me and said, Joe, I remember Jean-Francis and he's 55. My girlfriends are all my age and she's 34. She said, there'd be none of my friends interested in a 55-year-old man.
That's what I'm saying. It's my
This is what we're saying. And that's street. That's real. That's inside. You see, guys, so hey, it's possible, but it's not probable. A 20-year age gap. Okay, so, sorry, your question.
No problem. So my question to Anna is this. So there are all these trepidations in the very beginning, and then at some point, obviously, something happened. What turned the tide for you guys? For you?
Let's face it that by the time I find out the age, I already have, you know, very good, I know Joe's soul, you know, and this was really attractable to me, you know, his personality, his charisma, everything, you know, from the moment I met, it was like, how to say, I was like a magnet, you know, it was pulling pulling, right? Yeah, like I was drawn.
You're drawn to him.
Yeah, I was drawn. Yeah, I like his the way he speaks, the way he, I don't know, smile. I wanted to know everything about him. Like I remember I was my very first thought when he started to speak to me. My very first thought in my head was like, oh, this man gotta be married, like not single. I was curious. This was my first, he cannot be single. Such a great vibe I feel from him. Yeah. But then, we talk and we was like, even interrupt each other because so many comments and excitement, and all of that. And it was like so big, huge wave and interesting. But again, you cannot have this when you introduce through profile, because you have only photos and letter. You don't feel energy. You don't have all of these things,
Yeah.
And then by the time when we talk, I found out age. I was like, I'm not very super good with math. And I was like, I started to calculate if he's older or at least younger than my mother, What's going on here,
By a sliver,
yeah.
by a sliver.
And how I will tell this to my parents and like, what's going on? Was like, oh, so many thoughts. And I was like, yeah, even I disappear for 2 months to proceed this information.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, how disappear? I was like chatting, but not very into it because it was not easy for me. As I said, it took me time to understand, I cannot deny that I have this connection. And, I come back already with when it was our later normal date, with understanding that, yes, I'm interested in him like in a man, and because of this previous story before I found out, our age, and I accept it as a reality. But as I said, when you've been introduced just with numbers, you don't have this advantage of being, introduced with all your energy,
right,
knowing you as a person. So this is
I know. If you just consider the numbers initially, then I mean, obviously that kind of works to your detriment. But when a guy like Joe is given a chance to put himself on stage, then the woman in your case about and things slowly started to change, and I think that can be the case with some guys for sure. Obviously not with everybody, but that's the one hope. The one. Just to kind of set the record straight, it's not like I was always looking for women of a certain ilk in terms of their age and their look and so forth. I'm not that kind of restrictive in what I'm looking for. It's just that one thing that I found, maybe it isn't the case with your agency, but one thing that I found with other agencies is that when I reached out to women that were a little bit closer to my age, it was just such a negative experience. There was so much baggage that they carried with them. There was so much skepticism. I could hear the skepticism in the nature of the questions that they were answering me, that they were asking me. They're asking me so many questions that made certain presumptions, very negative presumptions about why I was, on the sides, why I was looking for somebody in a different country. They would ask me things like, oh, why did you get divorced? And I would explain the situation. And I tried to be fair in my explanation because it takes two to tango, right? It's not just me, it's not just her that caused the breakup. So I was trying to be fair when I answered. But these older women were just so negative. They always assumed that, any breakup is the cause of the man. So they were saying, oh, I'm sure she did nothing wrong. That it was completely 100% you, and you're not being honest and telling. I'm like, what? You don't even know me. This is our first 4 or 5 minutes of testing each other, and you're jumping to a conclusion on my 15-year marriage as to why it's
Gerry, let me just interject. Sorry to interject, just to have a conversation out of this. I completely concur. And so I don't say this a lot, but just to give guys an idea. So I looked for quite a while to find my angel. So I had about 50 dates in Ukraine. And so I found the same thing. And this is one of the reasons that I was turned off by a lady that was, let's say, closer to my age, is that I'm very optimistic, very positive. And you know what? The truth of life is, as people get older, we get, and Anna can talk about the psychology behind this and how to heal from it till the cows come home. She's an amazing shrink. But yeah, we get more jaded, more quick to anger, more jaded, more skeptical, more cynical, all of the bad things that kind of, it's like toxins in our body biologically. It builds up with age. And it was one of the reasons also I knew that I just wasn't going to be happy with an older woman. So I just want to concur that it is an unfortunate side effect of aging. And I would agree with you. Listen, I just wanted to double back, and because I think it's really important, finishing our age gap story. I'm going to tell Paul Harvey's now the rest of the story, what Anna didn't tell you. And it's probably, I'm going to beaten after this. But yeah, but I think it's important you get the holistic view of how traumatic it was for Anna, our age gap. And so somebody asked the question about children. Actually, Anna introduced me to the children fairly early on, and that was one of the, I think, pluses, but this is not my point here right now. Is that we got along great, the children. But actually, Anna kind of took a siesta from me, took a hiatus from me for a period of time, and dated other guys. And
you was dating other girls.
And I was dating other girls because of certain things that,
You was even longer dating other girls than I was dating other guys.
So you can say we both weren't sure for certain reasons. Okay, so she was dating, and it was about a 2-month hiatus where we didn't see each other. We didn't even really, we didn't communicate even. And
no, you write me one message. I found Turkish man, because I traveled to Turkey.
Okay, and so.
Well, no hello, no nothing. If I find a Turkish man.
Anna goes to a healer in Kyiv, and I eventually went to this healer too. And listen, I'm an engineer. I'm a left brain and a logical person. So all this airy-fairy stuff doesn't sit well with me. I need to have the facts, okay? It's my character. It's my brain. It's the way I'm wired. But I went to this healer, and I became a believer. He told me things about me, and he helped me in ways. But before that, Anna went to this healer, and this healer said to Anna, why are you running from this? Okay, so Anna told him the story about me. And
can I tell him?
Oh, you can tell it much better than you think.
So yeah, I visited him one time.
And Anna's never told this. It's too risque for her. So like I said, I'm going to be beaten later, but sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. This is one of those times, I think.
Yeah, I was one time visit this guy. He died and then he come back to life. And he started to see things, that energy of people blocks, like their same body. It's called, I don't know in English if it's called same body. But,
aura.
Like mental body. And he
auras. He sees auras.
And all of that, so he can see if there is started energetic disease. He can help with healing. He's not healer, but he help you to, he thinks he can help you to change, but you do changes. It's not him do changes, So he wrote me like he feel very bad for, like he feel that I need help. And I say, Sasha, I don't have money to pay for session and I don't want it. And he said, please come. It's for, you don't need to pay nothing. I just want to help you. Like this. He was writing me all of a sudden, He say, you need to come to me like this. Mm-hmm. So I come and
even for non-payment, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have money. It was still come to me.
Come to me, yeah. And
for free?
I want to
in Ukraine. Nothing's free in Ukraine.
So he do some, it's like energetic massage, if you call it this way, like something like that. And he talked to me and he say, do you believe that kind of, universe, God send us everything the best for us, at this certain time, when we looking for things that we think as better, And he say, why you deny it? Why you don't accept? Mm-hmm. And I was like, what I'm not accepting. Why you escape? Why avoid? And I was like, I don't understand. But then he started to tell me, stories, and I see, and then I don't know, something changed after this meeting. I was not the one after this meeting. Maybe something changed here, but in few days, Joseph wrote me. He wants to meet. He say, no, nothing more about relationship. I want to talk just about work. We met, but I wear a red dress. Nothing about work.
Oh.
Subconsciously, I choose this dress. We talk about
30
minutes about work. We agree that I will do live streams, and actually I never done even one because after the 30 minutes of conversation, we again back into discussing relationship, and I feel like such a big attraction and desire to know him. So next day was our actually official date that you saw. So I mean, here something changed about exceptions, and then in reality, Joe wrote me and like make this meeting happen because nobody have expectations. I come because I needed work and I wanted this work, and I told him from the beginning, from the first day when I met him, and he told me he have good marriage agency, and I said it was my dream to work in a good marriage agency, and I was never lucky to find one. So I always tell him, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of team, how I can be helpful, because this is my dream. And then, so that's what we was discussing. But then again, it's turned.
And I can add, I used to keep a check. Well, I still have it in my phone, in my Evernote. My future wife is the title of my Evernote. I've showed it live before. It's still kicking around on my phone. And I had a checklist of qualities that my future wife would have. And I wasn't going to settle. I preach, don't settle. And, I listened to my own advice. I didn't settle. But my bar is so tall. I was looking for such an impossible ask, but God brought me her. Guys, I just want to take a few minutes.
I can add about this too. I have also my list, and you'll meet also my every point.
Yeah.
But there was nothing about age. That's why
there was nothing about age.
My list. But it was mentorship. It was a big part in my list. Something very important.
And it's important, guys. Why some, and I speak again from experience here. So every large age gap lady I dated, I can share this with you. They were, one of the reasons they wanted an older guy is mentorship was a very important part. They wanted to learn. They wanted to accelerate their life experiences. And it's a big thing. So there are some ladies that are looking for this. Yeah, just want to add that in. Guys, I just want you for the first time ever, okay, so Gerry, I get to share this with you. I'm coming out of the closet. This is my coming out of the closet. I have never shared this with the world, but you all in this little 34 of people get to hear it for the very first time. And I'm going to share with you, I never came out of the closet because I was embarrassed. To be honest, this is my why. I thought people are going to judge me, think lesser of me, think I'm not worth my beautiful wife. All of these kind of things kept me from coming out. But I know that in coming out right now, which I'm about to do with you guys, I'm going to free myself from this judgment, from certain things. So here's my coming out video. It's only 1 minute and 20 seconds long. And then, we can get back to Gerry, but you'll know the rest of the story with Joe Ricards and why he came to Ukraine back in 2016.
Do you find yourself over 50 and regretting chasing material riches at the expense of family? Do you believe it's never too late, or have you given up? Maybe Joe's story will inspire you and give you hope. After having it all, millionaire lifestyle, all the toys men dream of, Joe still felt unfulfilled. Joe prayed for God to shake it up, to light the path for his purpose. Well, be careful what you pray for, right? Well, bankruptcy and divorce certainly wasn't Joe's plan. In hindsight, it was God's. Joe found himself 50, divorced, bankrupt, and homeless. Little did he know his best years lay ahead. Well, fast forward 5 years, Joe is happily married to his beautiful soulmate Anna, lives the traveling nomad capitalist lifestyle, and his lifelong dream of being a dad has come true. twice with 2 darling daughters, and another on the way. Did you know exhaustive research has proven that regret is what we feel most on our deathbed? Well, if you find Joe's story hits a nerve for you now, Joe asks you to trust him just enough to hear his inspiring true life story. Joe promises to light the path for you to find your soulmate and start your family, even if you're over 50.
So now you guys know, sometimes we joke online and they say, but Anna must be a gold digger. And she says, where's the gold? She says. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And the reason I'm sharing it now in the company of Gerry while we're kind of doing an intervention for Gerry is because my story is really just a story of what you guys can also accomplish if you just put your mind to it, you focus on that. Because like I said, I'm not so special. Bankrupt, broken, like homeless is not so special, is it? But yet I went to Ukraine, I made it happen, right? Why did such a wonderful human being fall in love with me? Yeah, and it can happen to you. I want it to be an inspiration that it can happen to you, and I'm proof in the pudding, right?
Oh, for sure. The perfect proof. And that's a compliment to Anna, of course. Not so much to you, Joe.
She's the one that gets all of the credit because she saw something in me that.
Yeah, I remember you was concerned, about these things, and we discussed, and it was very open conversation. And then that's why when guys write Anna must be a gold digger, that's why they have 20 years age gap. This was a secret. I'm not allowed to talk about bankruptcy, but it makes me smile and laugh because guys, think, and they also think that Ukrainian women, they want just money, No, they look for.
One thing that's kind of frustrating for me is that so many people just kind of mechanically throw out those statements about they use the same terms, gold digger here in the USA, so-and-so just wants the green card. I mean, it's too easy just to make blanket statements like that without accepting the fact that each instance has different circumstances. You're dealing with two different individuals each time you make that comment. So to make a blanket statement about gold diggers and green card hunters and all that and apply that to everybody that you see, it just, like I see it on these reality TV shows, 90 Day and all that kind of stuff. And it gets a little bit tiresome after a while. Not to be naive and to think that it doesn't happen, because obviously it happens probably just as much as it doesn't. But it's hardly always the case. I think you have to give people the benefit of the doubt, learn a little bit about them, and then make a judgment. But just to assume because you see this number and the two numbers are kind of far apart, and to jump on this negative bandwagon, that's a bit naive. But anyway, that's just my kind of 2 cents thrown in on that.
So guys, I just wanted to also say, so many of you guys now, 42 of you guys are watching, and I understand, believe me, the confusion, the skepticism, the past luggage, the baggage that you have from having maybe not as bad a situation as Gerry, but some of you guys, and you might even be watching, have believe it or not, a worse situation than Gerry. What's worse is you get married, like Tim, AFA scam in Scam School 1, got married, $100,000 later, brought her to the States. It can be worse. But the thing is, guys, I'm always an advocate of, listen, we can cry over spilled milk, but at the end of the day, there has to be hope. There has to be something positive come out of bitching, which is what we're doing now. We're complaining about something that happened. But I also, again, want to stand on my soapbox and say, you can have as great of a story as mine and Anna. You absolutely can. Do you got to play your cards right? Are there many things you got to do right? Yes, of course. And so on this note, I'm really, really super stoked with what we just launched. And you can, for free, figure this out with your gut. Trust your gut, guys. Always trust your gut. And so I'm just going to play this short video, and then we'll be back to finish it off with Gerry. But all of you guys need to go over there and see what real, good-hearted your average Ukrainian woman is. Because these kind of stories like Gerry, they give women an undeservingly bad rap. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Hello! Привет! And welcome to UkraineDating.tv. Our channel is the world's first of its kind, providing free live streaming every single day.
Ukrainian women, it's like 5 in 1. It's perfect mothers, perfect wives, perfect cookers, perfect lovers, perfect housekeepers, and perfect friends.
7 days a week with the real, genuine, beautiful Ukrainian ladies. Our channel was created for you, guys. Finally, now you have the opportunity to video chat live 7 days a week with different, beautiful Ukrainian girls of all ages and walks of life. You get to ask all your deepest, burning questions about all things Ukraine, Ukraine culture, Ukraine women, and Ukraine current events. And if you come to enough of our live streams, you might even discover what makes us mysterious Ukrainian women too. Now we have 7 girls live streaming, and in the future we'll have many more. Guys, I think you understand, we're like David fighting Goliath here to bring you the truth once and for all. Our channel's purpose is to debunk the myth and stigma created by the toxic paper letter scam industry. And we hope you agree the best way to accomplish that is by giving you the opportunity to video chat with average Ukrainian girls that represent the real women of Ukraine. And then you be the judge about what's real and what's not. Guys, please know that we're doing this all for you. So do me a favor and subscribe to our new channel and help us help you, your fellow man, and help us bring Goliath to his knees. So guys, can I ask you to share this video with all your friends, even work colleagues? Share it far and wide in social. Only together we can make a difference, guys. And remember, guys, we just started this channel, so more new girls will be joining our live streaming team in the coming weeks. Now, since each girl will be going live every day at different times, so you want to make sure that you hit that bell so YouTube will notify you every time each girl goes live, so you don't miss out.
Hey guys, I just wanted to add, Yevgenia just joined us as well as a new streamer. She is the one that was actually married to a foreigner that kidnapped her. She's from Sumy. The guy literally took away, well, they had a baby for one, and then he's in Israel, and he took away her passport and refused her to leave, was a gambling addict, left her for a year in Israel with $100. So that's what I say. And women have these stories too. They have these bad stories too. So the reason this channel is just to overcome all these fears and understand what women are really made of. And you'll see when you go. She has 4 kids. She's married happily now to a Ukrainian man. And go over there, check it out. You'll see what Ukrainian women really are, which is amazing human beings. And honey, I just wanted to ask Gerry, there was what commented earlier. Joe, help him out with a good psychologist. Give him psychological tips because he's going to need it, you know? And I just want to introduce because this is who I think is an amazing psychologist, even though she's not an accredited psychologist. But, you know, I just wanted to say, somebody commented in here about Anna's song, You're So Great. If you guys don't know, she's a budding, yes, is one of the reasons I fell for her in the taxi in the short little ride over to Krishatik from the mall, is she said, yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter. I said, oh, really? Show me some of your songs. But this is one of the songs I absolutely love. You Are So Great. But what I want to ask, honey, for you to talk about.
This song,
come
to me, very, very interesting, just like from nowhere, you know, like I write in few minutes. I just, you know, it's calm. I just found pen and, you know, didn't know much about. I mean, I already had my first songs released it in Ukrainian language, actually. Yeah. And then while, you know, it was not joy in my life, but then it was kind of, you know, meditative song for me, because when I was, you know, singing and keep listening, it was like reprogramming myself. And actually, you know, in a not very far away future, this story happened to me. You're so great. This is a story about my meeting with Joy. If you will listen, you will find out, you know, this is biography. But when I was you know, when I was writing it and listening again and again to this part that repeat, yeah, the choruses, or how, no,
the chorus, yeah.
Yeah, chorus. I was thinking, I was imagining people will, you know, I don't know who is, you know, we all going in life through different experience, but it's in our power, you know, to stuck in our bad experience or move forward to, you know, another one, happy one, right? And you know, we can stuck in bad experience, close our heart, you know, and renew it again and again. Like my, you know, like my grandfather, he was amazing man, but he keep offense on, you know, my grandmother all his life, and he was every time come back and tell the story, and this is what's eating him from inside, you know, all this story. And this is always our choice to, you know, learn our lessons, you know, from every experience that we got and move on, given, you know, having in face that we, you know, find out the reason why it happened to us, you know, transform this, you know, transform your fears, transform your you know, beliefs about relationship, you know, working with all of these things, and then, you know, be open for a new great experience. And when I was singing this song and, you know, imagine how people sing, it will transform in their life, you know. But I understand, okay, in singing there is, it's maybe not, can be not so powerful as I've created hypnotherapy in English language for guys, because I was not able to find in internet something powerful, you know, as I would imagine, because so we will include it in description. And I advise guys to, you know, who wants to have these positive changes, to listen to it for 40 days just before you go to sleep, when you're in very relaxed mode. It will help you to release pain from your, you know, from your past, and create first in your imagination picture of healthy relationship that you want to experience. First, you need to make it happen on feelings, you know, create it in your vision. And then in time, it will become part of your reality, you know.
The title of it is, what?
Attract Your Soulmate.
Yeah, attract your soulmate. Yeah. And it's really true, guys. It's absolutely true. I mean, Tony Robbins will talk about this all day long, but first, everything that's created here, yeah, which is in the material world, first is created here. So first, it's our belief in ourselves that's possible for us. And so a lot of guys, for example, that they go through such a hard heartbreak, like Gerry, like you've gone through, it messes with your belief that it's even possible for you. And that's the first kind of thing you've got to battle and overcome. And this hypnotherapy is really amazing. A lot of guys have done it. It's free on YouTube. We'll put the link below. And you just listen to it for 40. It is beautiful. Anna's done an amazing job. So highly recommend it for any of you guys that want to find your soulmate. Really, it's mental programming, psychological NLP programming.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out, because this stage, is a lot of you guys probably know, when you're dealing with this type of I guess heartbreak, it's hard to think about somebody else, right? When you've invested so much time and emotion into a relationship over so many years, You know, you might see another perfect person on the street, but they're not good enough. They're not who you just, you know, walked away from or whatever, you know. And I guess that just takes time, and eventually that kind of changes. Hey, before I forget, one thing I wanted to ask you, Joe, I wouldn't mind if he's interested in it. I wouldn't mind touching base offline with Jean-Francis. I have some questions to ask him. I'd love to chat with him a little bit.
Yeah, I'll ask him, and I know he'll be okay with it. I'll look you guys up. And I just want to add, Gerry, with what you just said before the John Francis comment. My advice to you is that you take this time. Don't pursue somebody just yet. It's too fresh for you.
Okay, that was my next question.
Oh, was it? Yeah, you need that time. You need some time to heal. Otherwise, you're just not ready. And things always come to us. Something good come to us in the right time. And first, you need to take the time for yourself to heal.
Right.
When I will share a personal story. When I went to Ukraine, guess what? The ink wasn't even dry on my divorce. Actually, it wasn't official. It wasn't official. And I was married to a Russian woman for 10 years. And you know what? I lied to myself. We're really good at that, us human beings. I said, I'm over it. I don't need time. I just, I want to find the right person. So I went to Ukraine. I actually went to Ukraine. I was invited to my best friend's wife's sister's wedding in Sumy, Ukraine. That's what took me there, August 8th, 2016. But guess what? I started dating, and I thought it was fine for dating. But I only later, of course, because hindsight is 2020, later, about 3 years later, I understood that, okay, now I actually feel I'm healed. And then I knew every relationship I had before them had absolutely zero chance because I was damaged goods. I was damaged, and I could see only with the hindsight once I had come through the other end of it, And there was is there very famous psychologist, is it what's her name, Myers? I listened to this audio program that said, this is a psychologist, that we need 6 months of every year of marriage or serious relationship to heal from that. And I was like, wait, 6 months times 10 years, I need 5 years to heal? Fuck that. Fuck that shit. But in hindsight, it took me 3. So she wasn't too far off.
Yeah, I know it definitely takes time. When my marriage ended, I think, it took me the better part of a year, I guess, to really feel, positive in terms of going forward. I mean, but that wasn't, that was just having to deal with the codependency side of things. It has nothing to do with any virtues that that she had that I was missing out on. Like 90% of the experience was negative, but still, when you're with somebody for such a long period of time, for better or worse, you do become attached to them, and that codependency kicks in, and you have to, it's hard to sever, so.
It's like cutting off your leg, like cutting off a leg.
Yeah,
they're
really. Exactly.
Part of you after this time.
Exactly. So,
You have this expression that nail beats up nail, or like.
No. Can you explain?
Not nail. It's what you put inside the. Okay, I don't know this word.
It's always hard to translate jokes and
Well, there's so many great Slavic
expressions. Colloquials, all of that.
That you put in the wall, like din 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 din.
Hammer and nail.
Hammer and nail. A nail, yes. Nail, and you use another nail to beat up this nail, to go out. It means you experiences, beating up, bad experiences, like this. Do you have this expression?
It's clear as mud, honey. Clear, absolutely clear as mud. Sorry, lovey. Sorry. Well, Gerry, we're here for you. I will hook you up with John Francis. I know that'll be good with him. And we're here for you. And if anything else comes up, and we'll stay connected. Fine.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And in time, I want to talk to you about just other things, about getting back in the saddle and so forth. So. So I don't know. You guys are in Canada now, yeah?
No, Cancun.
Oh, you're still in Cancun. Oh, I thought you had made your way north of the 49th parallel.
Yeah, we've actually recently decided, because we've been on the fence, where to call home. So we're pretty, we've changed our mind how many times? Oh my God.
Every day.
Thank God, having a home isn't, I mean, okay, it's the number one thing of every lady, and it's Anna too, but so it's been hard on her, but she's just with her personality profile. And if you haven't done Love Code yet, guys, go to lovecode.info. It'll find out what makes you tick. And most importantly, all your loved ones. If you find their love code and match it to yours, you will understand. We do it for our daughters so that we understand them better. And it's very important for matching to find your ideal half. And so with Anna's love code, I'm lucky in that. So most ladies settling down and having your fixed nest and knowing where you live, it's number one. For Anna, it's not exactly number one. Maybe it's number 2 or number 3. It's very important still, but thankfully, it's not so hard on her to be moving around as we have.
Freedom more important.
Right.
Yeah, freedom's more important. Yeah. But nonetheless, it's still a little bit hard on her. But we have basically decided the last country we were going to move to was Spain, and we're going to go to Canada.
No, Portugal was last. I don't know.
Okay, we were going to go to Canada just to vacation. And I'll be very honest why. There's no need to pay 50% income tax anymore. I did that for the first 50 years of my life. And doing things the right way in Ukraine, we can make up to $250,000 a year and pay 5% income tax. So why would I? So as long as I'm a resident of Ukraine and non-resident of Canada, I can legally pay according to my tax jurisdiction is Ukraine, so 5%. Well, Jean-Francois, I paid 50% per year. I made a lot of money in Canada doing real estate investing. And yeah, I paid 50%. But what's recently happened is the real estate market. You guys know my background is a real estate developer, real estate investor, retired engineer. And that's how I got ahead in Canada, is investing in real estate. And I owned a lot and I managed it and yada, yada. And I did tax lien investing in the States. And really, it's super lucrative. And the market right now, after 14 years of irrational exuberance, guess what? Exuberance. We're at the front of a crash. And she's going to crash hard. And I'm going to go back, and I've decided to invest stateside. Instead of going to Canada, I'm going to invest in America. And I have a very cool investing strategy. So that's going to be our future bread and butter. Because honestly, Match Guarantee just keeps the lights on. I mean, when you care as we do and only take 1, 2, 3 clients per month, it's not lucrative, guys. It's not lucrative. We do it because it's our passion, it's our love, but it's more like a hobby, honestly, than a business. So Anna's going to eventually, she'll be the heart and the brain of Match Guarantee in the coming months. You'll see the conversion, and I will be released to go do my other passion, which is do creative deals and help homeowners that are drowning, because they're going to be drowning here soon, more and more people. So yeah, so we're going to anyway. The reason I'm telling you this is Cancun's going to be our home. We're going to buy a home here, and this will be we'll become Mexicans, yeah. And we're going to base from here. I can travel to the States. We'll go to Canada, and we'll travel in the summers when the girls are not in school. Yeah, it's basically what we decided 1 week ago. So we'll see if it changes.
Wow.
Yeah,
very cool.
See, I don't know, because before every day was changing country, everything every day was yeah, I don't know. I just ask if I like this, warm climate, and if it's very expensive to live in Canada, and a lot of, I don't know, bureaucracy, and I mean, it's really not match our plans, because if we go there by program for Ukrainian people now, I'm going to come pregnant. That's our plan, you know, and I have to work 1 year in a Canadian company. And I was thinking how I can match those.
Okay, honey, we don't, you know, this is kind of a cool comment. Somebody can see your aura. Somebody sees your aura. Wow. Send us an email if you want to connect with us, or call us. We'd like to connect with you. If you can see my wife's aura, I want to talk to you. That's cool. That's cool.
Hey, Joe, quick question. I think it was what sent out a comment earlier, and it scrolled over kind of quickly. I didn't get to read it, but he was saying that I should touch base with Zhanya and several other people to get a true sense of what Ukrainian
he was saying in
women
that comment that you should spend some time on ukrainedating.tv, listen to Jana's stream. Actually, listen to Vita. He was saying listen to Jana and Vita. But basically, because Vita is the oldest one, she's 45. She's the wisest, wise generally, but she's a very wise 45. She's wise beyond her years. I would also
She's
say,
like the psychologist, right?
No, she's not a psychologist.
No?
She's just a wise Ukrainian mom. She's a mom, but she was also married and divorced with a foreigner. So, you know, she understands the mentality of us. And plus, she's been working, all her jobs for the past 20 years have been in English-speaking companies. She worked for Match Guarantee for a 2 years or so, but she's not working for us now. And basically, there's another lady that just come on, Evgenia or Zhenya. She had her first stream the other day. She'll be on regularly. She's also very wise. She's 45. She was also married and divorced to a foreigner. So these ladies are imparting wisdom to you guys that I can't, right? I mean, it's another perspective, and you want the Ukrainian woman's perspective because it's invaluable, right, guys? So that's what he was saying. Hang out over there. You can even come in like you did with us. You can come into the video with them and see them face to face and actually video talk with them like this. So that is.
Diana also has lots of wisdom. Diana also has lots of wisdom. Diana, she has lots of wisdom, Toja. Da.
Well, she does for her age, absolutely. I will say she's wise beyond her years, but she's 21.
Okay, I wasn't sure what. 21?
She's 21. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Diana's 21, our administrator, who does streaming also on the channel. So we have 21, Diana. We have 25. We have 34, 32, 45, and 45. Those are the ladies. But there's more coming on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Different age, so guys can get a feeling, you know, from different age. And, you know, like Julia, she's 25, but she's, I don't know, thinking like at least like plus 10 years, you know, like 35, or very mature for her age. And this is the thing. This is like we want to show different age, and the way, you know, why maybe in Ukraine marriages fell early because people very mature, you know, young but mature, but maybe, you know, different things, different values, different needs, you know. Yeah, I mean, in majority.
So any other thoughts or questions, Jer, before we probably end this, what 2.5 hours? Wow.
No, I think I'm good. I really, as the last time, I really appreciate all the comments that have come my way and all the questions that you guys have asked me, and you know, maybe to a certain degree filling in some of the blanks. I learned a little bit about the initial stage of the relationship, some of the things that were happening that I wasn't cognizant of. So, you know, my honestly speaking, my concern wasn't so much about that phase. It's more this kind of this last half year or so, everything that's changed then. But I don't know. I'm like I told Jean-Francis, I'm still there's still that 20%, but that's just based on the fact that you're, you know, it's hard not to be loyal to a relationship and a person after so long. It's hard just to jump ship, so instantaneously, because it really keep this in perspective. Like all of this has happened within the last 5 days, literally.
Yeah.
So
it all came to light. Yeah. And she was supposed to be with you, Yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is
we're supposed to be in Chicago having some seafood on Riverwalk right now as we speak, enjoying a beautiful Midwestern day. You know, getting prepared to load up the truck and head back to Minneapolis. So.
You know what? I'll share one just in closing. I'll share one more story in hopes that it will help you. I had a relationship with somebody for 6 months, and you know what? At the beginning of the relationship, I inadvertently caught her that she dated somebody. She dated somebody on. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't tell this story, but anyway, she dated somebody and they had physical contact. I don't know what it was. She said it wasn't that much or whatever, but I know they at least kissed. And that was 2 weeks after we had already started our relationship. And I could never get past it. I tried and we continued. We had a relationship for 6 months and I kept trying, but in my mind, I could never trust her. And she would want to go to a nightclub on her own. And normally I would trust. I'm a very trusting person. But I found I couldn't trust. So I'm telling you this because I ask you to ask yourself, because I know, just to close the gap on the 20%, do you feel even after dating these two guys that we just found, the young, obviously young, about her age, Ukrainian man, when you guys were in a relationship, and then with Shai,
I actually have questions about that photo. So who was that person supposed to be? That was never really clear to me.
No, but the point is, could you ever trust her after just knowing this? This is a question. Do you feel you can trust her?
I don't, honestly, I don't really have a problem with sorry, I'm getting a message on my phone about my battery, but I don't really have a problem with that Ukrainian photo because, you know, she had a lot of school chums and she has godparents to her children and so forth. I don't know who that person was. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions on that. What's more concerning to me is the Shai interactions after we had, I mean, at this point, we're almost a year into the relationship, because our relationship really kicked off with conversations in May of 2018. We had several trips under our belt. By the time he came on board, I think that was in January, and then again in April. That's what's an issue to me. The random photo of her, you know, with somebody in Ukraine, I don't know who that is. That could be a circle of friends. It could be godfather to one of the kids. I don't know. Somebody she's dating. I really don't know. I need more evidence on that.
You need to study body language, and then you'll be able to understand.
Well, I don't know. I saw that picture, and she was sort of leaning, and really, I'm not like, if I were to eliminate a relationship just based on that photo, that might be a little bit too much.
Yeah, but it's cumulative. It's very cumulative.
Yes.
Right?
Well, what was an issue for me? Like if I saw like 5 of those pictures, that would be an issue. But the 2 meetings with Shai, that's what's an issue for me. You know.
So what's your question about Shai?
No, this is concern about her.
Yeah, Shai.
No,
that's
no. No, I wasn't saying. I was saying that was the evidence that you presented today that gives me even more concerns, and it shows me more issues with her integrity and with her character. The photo with whoever that was, like I said, I don't know who that was. That doesn't really do so much for me, because she has a lot of friends. So, you know, posing with some guy doesn't really tell me, you know, much of anything. But sitting down in a hotel lobby with Shai and meeting 2 times while we're still involved in a relationship, yeah, that's his story.
Do you want to take up this offer on the screen? Journey to Mars. Yes. He's offering you.
Oh, for sure.
So
for sure. I don't know. I don't know how she would, just based on her personality. Like I had even thought about
You guys,
approaching.
Ukrainian women. If you think that Ukrainian woman will share with somebody personal,
Yeah, she'll
story.
slam the door. Whoever, Journey to Mars, whoever you send to her, she will slam the door in her face or tell him to fuck off, and that's it. That's it.
You'll
never get anything.
That's what I was going to even approach Anna with that, but I was thinking just based on her personality, she might just, totally reject that and close out, saying, like in the past, even when there were things that were happening between us, those things to be kept between us. She didn't even want me sharing those things with, with my daughters, right? So to have an outsider come in and try to say, look, Gerry is this, Gerry is that, what's going on? Why are you doing this? What's happened? I think, like Anna said, she might just say, who are you? Ohadi. So
Yeah, this is
I think that's a great idea. I wish I could take advantage of something like that.
Okay, well, I'll hook you guys up. So just Journey tomorrow, send me an email with your phone number, okay? Joe@magicguarantee.com.
Yeah, JK, I kind of agree. Yeah.
JK, yeah. I suspect. Okay, I'm going to give you my take. I think it's a real. I think she's a real toxic pro scammer. This is my feeling. I think she's done this before. This is just weighing in all the evidence based on my background, my history, just so you guys know what I really think. This is what I really think, and I feel fairly confident in that assessment. Sorry.
So, Joe, with that said, just for closure from my standpoint, if it seems like the consensus is from you and Anna and from everybody else that's commented, it seems like the consensus is that I was taken advantage of for this period of time, especially in recent times. Should I reach out from the standpoint of writing something and just indicate to her that I understand more about her background and what she's done, just to let her know that she didn't get away with it? Or should I just
I can tell you what a Ukrainian man would do. Absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah.
A Ukrainian man would do absolutely nothing. Wouldn't even give her the benefit of an inkling that he knew. Right, Anna? Yeah. Ukrainian people are like that. And you know what? I've learned this from Ukrainian people. I've learned a lot of things. It's changed my personality. It's changed my behaviors. No point. There's absolutely no point.
Okay. Yeah.
And what is also agreeing, do not contact her ever. I don't agree, block her, because then you kind of burn a bridge. I wouldn't do nothing. Zero. Nilchi. Nichiwa.
Okay.
Why you want to save this bridge?
Because I would like to see if she's going to ask for more money. I'm going to like to see if she's going to hang herself any more further.
Right. I'm kind of curious about that too.
And that's the thing that I want to also cautious you, because now maybe she will tell you, listen, I know I can leave Ukraine, if she will feel that, burn the bridge completely, you stop monthly support. She say, listen, I figure out, I found some people, I can pay 5,000 so I can get out, so please send me 5,000 and buy me tickets, I go to you. That's what she can do. So please don't, it's a hook. She can leave Ukraine.
What makes a good point? I concede what it's a good point. I mean, Gerry, if you don't think you have this, what's the word? If you don't think you have what's the word, guys, help me out. If you feel you might still be vulnerable to her whining and complaining, like Anna just said, then block her. I agree. But I think you do.
No,
I think you're.
I'm totally on board with what Anna said, because I am kind of curious. I'm not interested in providing any more assistance whatsoever, because for me a major line of trust and integrity was broken. Just the fact that this type of news could be delivered on Monday, saying that I cannot leave, even if it's totally okay. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say that yeah, this was legitimate. She couldn't leave. She has to report to duty this coming Monday, and there'd be legal repercussions if she left. Whether that's true or not, you know.
No, it's not true.
Let's
100% sealed that.
No,
one.
I know, but even if it was, what I'm saying is that doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is you're delivering that type of news to somebody, and then you don't make any effort whatsoever to find out how they're coping with that and how they're feeling emotionally. Like there was just absolutely nothing. All she said was about her feelings, that her world was turned upside down. She's devastated. She's shocked and all this. Not once did she ask how I was doing. You know, knowing that I had gone through all sorts of,
she doesn't
as I
care.
said in the last broadcast, all sorts of. Yeah, she just doesn't care, and that's the worst part. That tells me right there that this is not the type of person that I want to be with. I need somebody that has my back, that has empathy and compassion for me. You know, not somebody that just when I'm going through what's obviously a horrible time, they just forget about me. That's insanity. You know. So, you know what? But I am kind of curious. As to the next few days move on, if like Hannah said, she's going to you know, because in terms of the assistance that I was giving, it was on a scheduled basis, you know, and part of that schedule was the 10th day of every month. So we have the 10th coming up on Monday. So I'm kind of curious as to what might happen.
You know what? I just want to change my mind based on what. I just want to share with you what said again. I'm so impressed with what. Not only does he help on the IT side of things, which is a huge help, but he's also, you said you're not a psychologist, but you're very wise. So I actually changed my mind. I support blocking her because this is the reason I changed my mind, because of his comment. It's going to slow your healing process. True. It's gonna, because she still will, you allow her to mind fuck you or potentially mind fuck you. But this way, when you block, it's just totally so gone. So I support
that's true. That's a good point. I was actually thinking about that earlier today, because anytime you see you see a response or something, you think, maybe there's some sort of hope, or maybe you think that you thought about it wrong or something. So yeah, what is I think he's on the ball with that.
And Brian, give him a break. He's healing, bro. He's healing. Give him a break.
What did Brian say?
Yeah. Seriously.
Sounds like a broken record.
Yeah, he's healing.
Yeah, no, Brian, I do sound like a broken record. But like Joe said, when you're Brian, you're in a relationship for 4 years. It's not so easy just to turn the switch off. Sometimes you
4.5 years.
So I apologize for the broken record thing. But
you're so polite.
We are human, Brian.
So polite. You should be Canadian. You're more Canadian than me.
Well, I was raised in Canada.
You are very Canadian, by the way. Your demeanor, your personality is very Canadian.
Well, that's where I was raised up until age 20 or something.
Oh,
Ottawa, Canada. Right. So yeah.
Where was it in Canada? Where again?
In Ottawa.
Ottawa.
The Outaouais region for Jean-Francis' benefit. Go Gatineau.
This will be such a great catch for good Ukrainian.
Oh yeah. When you're healed, I'm very optimistic that you're gonna meet somebody incredible and be very happy.
Yeah, well, my plan is to heal a bit, and then I want to come down to Mexico. I want to make my famous margarita for you guys, if you're allowed to drink, Joe. And I think you are, because I saw a video where you're making all sorts of things, and we'll have a little chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I consider you a friend. Come on down. We'll go fishing. May is the best deep sea fishing. I'm going to go out a second time. The marlin are running, and the big mahi. So I love eating fresh mahi. So come on down. Absolutely. We'll have a margarita, go fishing.
Never will go fishing with girls again.
Oh, Dorchika, you're so beautiful. Come. Show everybody your red dress. Come.
No, she wants to show her
Oh, she's coming. Wow. What do you guys think? That's our 4-year-old.
Oh, she drew that. Wow. Oh my
I
God.
think it's Arena paying.
Oh,
but she
Arena.
brought it. I think.
It's probably Arena.
It's too professional for Elizabeth. Yeah.
And I just wanted to show everybody what an Anna fan I am since I just got it done. Can you facilitate? Can you help? Okay, what?
What you want.
Oh, come. Okay.
Joseph, please, she don't have hair.
Lisa's coming. Oh, come on, honey. Look at, she's trying to beautify her 4-year-old. She's before. Look at the costume. Wow, red dress.
Oh, wow.
Everything.
Очень красиво.
Amazing. Gosh, it looks so beautiful. Do you want to sing for us this time? You want to sing?
No.
You want to sing? What's your favorite song? Nothing. Start to get shy. Hello.
Are you guys celebrating Halloween down there or no?
No, it's a pagan holiday. We're Christians. We don't celebrate Halloween.
Okay.
We party in the house and celebrate Jesus instead of Satan.
Okay.
But yeah,
no Day of the Dead either?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
Probably not. Okay. No problem.
No problem. Well, my friend, we hit 3 hours. Almost 3 hours again. Wow.
We've invested 6 hours so far.
Thanks everyone who participated. Yeah, we want to thank everybody for helping out and contributing, and you guys that are hooking up with Gerry. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, thanks so much. And I think Brian too, despite me testing his patience with the broken record business.
Oh yeah, Julia's stream. Yeah, you can go over, guys, and watch Julia's stream. She's very positive Ukrainian girl. She's in UK. You could chat with her. Only she's 25, but she signed up for our agency now. So now you guys are asking, are there any ladies available on UkraineDating.tv? Julia's in our database, so technically she's available.
Open for date, man.
Up to 39.
39.
Yeah, she's told us, because all the guys are, of course, they're asking the age gap questions to all the girls. What's maximum age? What do you think it's like? So you get honest answers, that's for sure, because they're mostly not available. They're mostly hooked up, except for Julia. She's available. So
Diana,
yeah,
available.
Yeah.
Oh, Diana married too much green tea.
Okay, Gerry. Well, you have a blessed day. Thanks again.
You guys too. Thanks so much. Thanks to all the commenters, and I'll see if we can hook up with Jean-Francis.
I will hook you guys up. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Take care. Bye, everybody.